Roundtable Podcast. I'm your boy Corey G at Small Arms, Danny at Trey Speed, and the graphic gangster himself, Cole Susak. We are on the fly with another guest. Ben Kaufman is in the house.
Shout out, Ben.
What's up?
Ben, you know what's so crazy is? Well, one, you just came to pick up your order, and we threw you on the podcast, so that's fucking awesome. But two, you just opened your first gym.
That's right.
How old are you?
I'll be 25 in 2 weeks.
That's awesome. And it's been open for 2 days.
That's right.
So this is the best time to podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's so many people that listen to the show that are in, I really believe, in that exact position.
Yep.
Early 20s, early 30s, want to have their own joint. They're in a place. They're, and that is where it either you do what you just did or they stay in that situation. What was contributing factor that made you want to make the jump? What are you most nervous about, most excited about, and kind of just give us a little background on this whole thing that just happened, bro.
A contributing factor is just the fact of like the main thing starting with personal training. Like, I mean, I've been following you for 6-7 years now, and it's like everybody's kind of got the same question. It's in this field. Like, I see trainers all the time. Like, what do I got to do next year? Like, how do I have the life that when you started, like your own first studio and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
But like, really, actually I made a post about it today, like the belief aspect. Big contributing thing has just been the fact that I believe I can change lives. I can believe I, can help people and whatnot. And fortunately enough, the gym that I was at, I didn't have to, like any of my clients didn't have to pay a membership.
Got it.
So
you had kind of a unique situation.
I was independent. And as were they. So if they're with me, they're with me.
Got it.
If they want to get a membership, they can. But that was a fortunate part that I was able to build up my clientele, build relationships, and ultimately build such a rapport with my people that when I first started like introducing the idea, like started buying my stuff like years ago. Like I was built, and I told you on the phone, like I've been planning something out, and
been executing, kid.
Been executing. So just basically over this period of time, like, kind of putting stuff in their ears, and how I set up the exercises with how the gym was at the old gym, like, hey, if I get my own spot, like, you're cool to leave. And everybody, when it comes down to it, when they're with you and they rock with you, they're going to come with you. There wasn't any hesitation from anybody where it's like, I got to stay here, I got to do this. Like,
everybody left.
Everybody.
Love that.
So, for instance, like Aaron, who was on the last one, he's one of the OGs. He came with me a year and a half ago, reached out, and he's been rocking with me since. But he's in the same situation. When you ride with somebody and you believe in what they're doing, what you're building, and I believe I'm trying to build something great, they're going to follow that. So you got to be genuine. You got to be real. If it's real,
yeah, of
so
course.
That's what I'm saying. If it's genuine, it's real, and you're actually about what you say and what you do, then people are going to buy into that.
I think that's called actual confidence about your situation. Go ahead, Cole.
What was the starting point of, like, what was your whole situation like whenever you got, like, your first client, and how that evolved to where now you have enough clientele to go at it all the time?
So, kind of funny story. Technically, when I first started training, I had just got my personal training certification, whatever, and I was deployed to Cuba for a year. During that time, I started like putting it out, like, hey, I'm open to help people. I started helping everybody in my military unit, like, constantly.
Practicing with your homies.
Yeah, it kind of became like.
I used to practice on all Rachel's friends.
Yeah.
I mean, training. Okay. Sorry, Ben. Go.
Humble brag.
Yeah.
It kind of became a situation where, like, everybody's like, you're the fitness guy. You're the one.
You become that guy.
Yeah. So really. When it first, sorry, what was your question again? My bad. I just
like first client.
Yeah, what was your
first client? Yeah,
first
my
client.
bad. So then I got home, was seeked out by the gym owner, and he had asked, like, hey, are you interested in coming in here? We're gonna start this up, and it was private at first. It wasn't like a gym membership, so it was whatever spot. I knew, and this goes back to like the entry point, like when I was gonna start like doing what I wanted to do and what I was passionate about. I'm just going to be annoying as shit started on Facebook. Like, I'm going to post as much as I can. I was putting, like, my timelines of what I had available through the day, which it was nonstop. Like, I was open. Like,
you're like, there's still 7 spots available.
Exactly. So I was kind of.
Hey, fuck it.
I was setting up my schedule to a point where, like, it kind of seemed like, hey, I was getting busier, not a fake thing, but
Yeah.
I was placing my timelines around where I figured people would come. Like, hey, I got morning spots. I got an afternoon spot for, the person if you want to come at lunch. I got 5, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I was training until 9 p.m. some nights to get, like, high school or any, like, younger kids in that had school all day. So, like, the first entry point of the client was, like, I'm just going to do whatever I can to get as many people as possible to know that I'm willing to do whatever and be flexible. That's the same thing I say now, even with a kid and everything. Like, I pride myself on being, and I know you have to have a certain point, like, where you're, not too flexible, but at the same time, like, I pride myself on being as flexible as I can be to maintain and
We have to bend
yes,
in the beginning, bro.
exactly.
I mean, you're trying to build something. You can't just do it on your own terms.
Yeah.
You're on a lot of other people's terms.
Right, and it is that, and I truly enjoy, though, just that first client mentality, like, seeking these people out, like, almost getting to the point where you're kind of becoming annoying with your posts, and, it's one person asking for shares, doing whatever you can, like, put yourself out there. Like, at the end of the day, nobody's really going to hate on you for, doing that. If they do, like, what are they doing? Like, you're the one putting yourself out there and being real about it. And I keep doing that, like, even at a point with my schedule where I want a certain type of, person that wants to be serious and whatnot.
Mhm.
But in the same vein, like, I'm willing to continue to put myself out there and do whatever I have to do to keep helping as many people as I can.
You mean
So-
you really started it off with the first thing. You believe you could change lives.
Yeah.
And when you do personal training and you actually genuinely want to help people, people
Yeah.
can feel that pretty.
Right.
And the fact that you'll go out of your way.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Danny.
Did you know, was it like at the first client point, did you know that you wanted to like open your own spot, or did that happen at a particular point in time? That's my
Particular point in time was my first garage gym at my parents'. I actually, before I had gotten deployed, I had built this, like, out of my dad's, like, little garage. I'm like, shit, I could probably start training people out of here. And this is prior to me even, like, being certified or whatever, but
Yeah.
I already had the vision of what I had, like, built and what I was building. I'm like, I can do this. And then it was like, okay, do I stay in Zanesville? Do I move? Do I do this? Do I do that? And then the deployment happened. Started training people. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna go home and build my own thing. Like I said, I got seeked out. Started training at the gym, and then gradually at that point, like, every week that goes by when you're paying rent and whatnot, you're like,
Eats at you a little bit.
yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I think I can do this, like, and that's just been my belief system since, like, and it's been super cool. But
So like
I
leading
kinda
into that
knew.
right away is like the strategy portion of it. Like, what did your strategy kind of look like? Because like you knew that you were going. It was obviously going that
so
way.
we had talked on the phone about a month ago, and I had told him, like, I've just been building up, and the equipment I have is, like, nice and stuff, but just even my own garage gym.
You've been
like,
stacking
I've
his
been-
stuff for a
yeah,
minute, bro.
so, like,
Yeah.
anything I
Smart.
could do, like, because prices are crazy anyway, but, like, even Facebook Marketplace, like, my strategy was find the best stuff that I could, and to go with that on the strategy, like I said with the gym, I started to get to a point with the exercise selection, what I would do. Like, I was envisioning, okay, if I have a space this size, what am I going to have that I can kind of mimic what they're doing, and then get them away from some of the stuff that's at the gym, like
So smart.
Yep.
rowers, skiers. Like,
Mhm.
I knew initially, like, I don't really want to drop that much. Like, if I can get outside, farmer carries, sled drags, lunges, like, all right, there's $1,000. There's $2,000 that I can save.
pushing the programming towards what you
Yeah.
know it's about to
Yes,
have.
and the programming always
Smart.
goes back to, like, I mean, it's Gym Pop I'm working with, but in the same vein, like, they're doing some of the shit I'm doing. Like,
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's programmed through my stuff, but in the same vein, like, I've learned so much of that through you. Like, but that was a strategy. Like,
Yeah.
build, and I like having my own stuff anyway, and I train how all you guys train. So,
I mean, straight up, Ben, you would work out with us if you had
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
I've invited him multiple times. You never
Yeah.
even. I don't even think you've trained here yet.
not here, no. I
But
came.
so he's got clients at that
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
he's a 65, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I've been trying to get him up here because he's about it,
Yeah.
straight up.
Well, it's interesting too, because like getting away from the high ticket items, because they're probably really used to those things too.
Right.
So you're exposing them to a whole new world of things.
Well, it's kind of funny with, like, okay, so like a rower, a skier,
Mm-hmm.
like a echo bike,
Mhm.
and then there's like a treadmill, like one of those self-propelled things.
Yeah.
Super
The
pricey,
air
like
runners.
awesome, yeah. But like even when they come in one day and they're like, I'm like, hey, we're gonna go outside and do farmer carries for, our 3 to 5 minutes, something like that, or today we're gonna lunge, like stretch a little bit. They're happier doing that than just sitting on a rower and like
Yeah.
getting a look like, hey, we're gonna warm up today. Like, okay, let's do something else. So I try to pride myself on changing around like what they do each time they come in from like the warm up standpoint. But nah, you don't need any of that stuff right away. Like,
Yeah.
they don't care.
It's
So-
amazing what you get by with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trayvon.
So I'm curious, like, when kind of like this whole like journey like started for you, like whether it's like weightlifting, like kind of like when you got into like weightlifting, what made you start, what started you into it, and all that kind of stuff like that.
Well, honestly, I graduated from high school in 16. I never really like cared about the lifting aspect. I mean, I did, but like it was kind of like, okay, cool, I'll get this workout in, whatever.
Because I got to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there was a time we held a powerlifting meet like each year, and that was super fun because like I remember my parents like would come up and like record me, and then I'd take the pictures. Like it was just cool seeing yourself like make progress. But really, it started ticking for me was my freshman year of college. I went to Ohio Dominican for a year. Actually, it was a semester. Went for football. I hated football. Like even out of high school, like I'm like, do I want to do this? Like my boys were going. It was like, I don't know. But the one aspect I loved was the early morning workouts. We had a strength coach. I think his name was Coach Gresh. That was what he was called. But his programming was cool. Like his enthusiasm, like everything about lifting, like pre-workout. Like I don't know. I just loved the aspect of it. So I started waking up early. That was when I kind of found like your stuff, and I was listening to like Greg Plitt and stuff back then. And, like
Shout out Greg.
he had YouTube videos that I would just like wake up in the morning and listen to. Like,
Well,
I
he's a
started-
military guy too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I started listening to all that, and this is prior military. Like I didn't know at this point like really anything, and was going to school for criminal justice. Figured I can really only see myself as like law enforcement. I don't know. It was weird. Long story short, I left ODU, started like loving lifting, found Corey stuff, looked into Columbus State, and I was already involved in like criminal justice program and whatnot, so I didn't want to like reset all my credits or whatever. So I finished out at a local community college for criminal justice, but every time that we had like presentations or like, why do you want to be in law enforcement, this and that, like I always wanted to be like it comes back to making a difference, but I always wanted to be the person of helping others for fitness. Like I thought it'd be cool to get in a law enforcement unit and be like the freaking fit cop, or like I would write papers about like changing the status quo of like all the stuff that was happening in the world, but in the same time like coffee and donuts, and just it always reverted back to like fitness side of things. And I was already
It was
doing
like through criminal justice
Yeah,
to
it was
fitness, when
weird.
reality is it's really fitness.
Yeah,
that makes
so-
sense. It kept telling
and
you
my
that.
professors kept like kind of saying like,
Every paper you do is about
yeah,
lifting.
so
Weird.
It was weird. I mean, I ended up finishing the program, but I knew just before, like prior to that deployment, because that started coming up, like I'm gonna get this cert, I'm gonna start training. Like I'm gonna see how many people I can train during the deployment. I'm gonna see how many people I can get online, and it was like instant. Like right when that met and I passed that like exam that I guess matters, but it really doesn't. Like that meant like everything to me.
Oh,
So I was
yeah.
like, holy shit, like I can start helping people, like they're going to believe in me, they're going to see like I'm certified, like all this stuff that really I could have done like forever ago. It just kind of took a couple things for me to find my path to into that.
He says forever ago he's 25 with the gym.
but
I get it though.
did I answer your question with
Yeah.
kind of how that, yeah.
Yeah.
So that whole transition with college and figuring out my way and doing that. And then actually, I did end up reaching out to Don Labenthal. I literally
Yeah.
have a math class
Shout
left
out.
that I like every semester that I'm like, I just like I don't feel like doing this. I don't know, it's weird, but we've had
Yeah.
plenty of talks about that. me
Don's
and him.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And he's
So-
yoked.
So
and he's
technically-
super yoked
he's-
now.
Technically, no, I do
Loves
not,
that
and I
crowbar.
don't have the degrees and stuff, just same
Yeah.
stuff you talk about.
For sure.
But I did get a West Side certification, my A
Accounts.
Oh,
stuff.
fuck yeah.
So,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then Aaron always jokes around about being like a certified G. So
Yeah,
he said
well, hey,
should have
we
like
should have a
program.
fucking certification
Yeah.
that you get through here.
So that's kind of how that all went down.
Gold chain required. Yeah.
Fuck. Absolutely. I need a gold chain sponsor.
Yeah.
That's
Dude.
yeah.
Who's your go-to?
Well, that
I know
Jackson
you have
that
them.
Jackson company, they sponsor people. That's who I need to go with.
Yeah.
They sponsor
up, bro.
Mac McClug. Yeah, I need to holler at him and Odell.
You should
Yeah,
send him
same
I know
category.
Odell.
Same
Yeah,
Send him a portfolio of you dunking with the chain on.
yeah, dunking on Treadway with the
Dunking
chain.
on Treadway,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Oh,
so
God.
good. Ben, what? You just had a baby.
Mhm.
You, your wife also works within the facility, right?
Yes.
So you got a combo facility, which this is also part of the good strategy. So
Mhm.
kind of explain that real quick.
So, yeah, back to the deployment. We met on the deployment.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
I had never talked to her prior, and she'll like listen to this if I
Yeah.
tell her.
Shout out.
I
Speak
had-
wisely.
I had never talked to her. Like, I got in my military unit, and I was kind of like the dude over in the corner. Like, I don't know. I'm not a super like outgoing. Like, I don't really care to make conversation with people I don't care about
Yeah, there you
making
go.
conversation with. But I don't know if that sounds like it probably sounds pretty bad, but like actually Trey, I feel like
That's
Trey's
me.
kind of
Yeah, Trey's like, oh no, I get it. Yeah.
So that's
Well, so I always say like when Trey's really your friend, like like he's really your friend because he's
Yeah.
not going to be a fake friend.
right.
So you just got
So-
the same skill. That's cool.
Yeah. So we kind of get there, and I don't know if I should be saying any of this because technically, like, the stuff's frowned upon. But
Yeah.
get there, and it's like
Here we go.
it's like Cuba. So
yeah.
you know,
all things go in Cuba,
yeah,
I think.
Well, yeah, we get there, and it's like I'm telling my like roommates and stuff because you live in like a house pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just guys, and I don't know if it's just the thing about like the Cuba deployment, but it's like the drinking. Like you can drink. It's one of the only ones that you can drink, and like the girls are there. I don't know. It's
You
just
can wild
weird.
out a
Yeah,
little
there's-
bit.
There's beaches and stuff, so
yeah.
you definitely know.
It's
what
like you're in Miami, but you're not.
Yeah, pretty much. Close, not far
Yeah,
away.
no, right?
But then like her, I was just like, all right, I know I keep saying this, like I'm not gonna like talk to anybody and everything, but we were at the beach one day. I walked up to her and like playing past the old like, hey, throw a football that way type of deal.
That one works.
Hey, and
What's up, girl?
sure enough,
Yeah, what up?
yeah,
What
like,
up, girl?
sure enough, yeah, sure enough, that same day, somehow, some way, we just started like talking, and then from that point, like we were on the same work shift and stuff, so we technically started dating in Cuba. Got back home. She's from Cincinnati originally, and she was in school to be an esthetician,
Yep.
which is what she does now. During that time, she was coming back and forth to Zanesville. Long story short, she found out she was pregnant, and so I had already kind of established the personal training stuff.
Sure.
So we agreed she would just move to Zanesville, and a house kind of fell in our lap, per se. So that kind of happened and transpired, and then, like I said, I was already working at this building. And not downtown, the first floor is like a membership gym. Second floor is yoga, like wellness, massages, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then third floor is like another little top floor. But I thought it'd be pretty cool because I started telling her forever ago, I'm like, hey, if we ever get our own spot, like, or I ever get my own spot, like I want there to be a space for her.
Sure.
There was a room that came available, and I had asked the owners, I'm like, hey, she's about to finish school for this. Can she get in here? And I know she doesn't know a lot of people, but I feel like she can be it's a good room for her. Worked out pretty great. It's a little bit different for her because she doesn't know anybody from like.
Because you're from this area.
Yeah, I'm from these areas, so I know these people and everything. But
you guys are building businesses simultaneously in the
Yeah.
same joint.
and it's
Cool.
all like
smart,
So we
smart
were,
strategy.
Exactly. So looking back on everything, it's cool because there was like a building period of like,
Of course.
hey, I'm doing this. You're about to do this. Eventual point, we can do this. But she started doing really well. I've helped her with, well, she's done great now, but like the marketing stuff because just from not knowing anybody, so I'm constantly trying to share out like, hey, this is my fiance, like, hit her up, like girls, like, your waxes, your facials, massages, and even my clients during sessions, I started learning stuff from Steph where it's like, if they ask about some type of service or product, like I want to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
So sometimes I would get her clients just right out the gate. I'm like, hey, you need to see her, like, or if they're eating a certain way and they're seeing her already, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, if you tell her that, that's gonna mess with your skin. Like, So kind of we're going hand in hand with.
No, I see the vision,
yeah,
bro.
so if somebody needs a massage, like, boom, hit her up.
Danny gets taint waxes.
Oh.
Twice weekly.
That's called a.
Says the guy
What-
who's
what-
been
what-
shaved
what-
multiple
that's a
times
term?
from his wife.
That's
What's
called
it called?
A Brazilian.
Oh!
Speak out Portuguese, kid.
She's
Yeah.
not. She's not had any men yet. Though.
Oh, this is the first guy.
Yeah.
Can we clip this one, Kyle?
Does Rachel spread your cheeks?
Oh, he's
Yeah.
trying.
Or does she do it?
He's trying.
You're trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that.
Sorry, Ben.
No, it's all good. So yeah, we were down there for. I was almost there for 2 years. She was there for about a year. But yeah, she built her business up, her clientele's up. So same thing with the personal training. Like, you don't have to be a part of the building to, see any of us. Like,
Whoever's business plan that wasn't real smart.
well,
Not
It-
hating on it, but
no,
I mean,
yeah.
like, I would never do it
It-
that way.
it helped us out.
Oh, it's for
a lot.
you. It was
There's so
fucking
much
amazing.
From like a standpoint on like, we don't really have a foothold.
Yeah.
That was like immediately I knew. So
Yeah, bro. That was the same kind of thing with me. Like my first situation, they were members of the tennis club, but I had no non-compete.
Yeah.
So when I was ready to dip, I knew
Yeah, we didn't.
I there was no problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to me, it was like that was their oversight.
Yeah.
And they didn't think at 21, and probably same as you being 25, like that you would make that jump.
Right.
Because most people don't think that way. I'm thinking like, motherfucker, I ain't paying you 30%. Fuck out of here. So that's pretty sick. So now you're building both businesses together.
Yeah.
Locations open.
Yep.
Looks great.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
it seems
so
like
we're-
it's going well already so far.
Yeah, we're right on a main strip of, like, Zanesville's kind of weird because it's like big but small at the same time. So like, a lot of people know each other. It's a lot of word of mouth in
Mhm.
Zanesville, and the location that we're at, like, it's the busiest place that you can be around. Like,
Perfect.
and for her, it's gonna be even bigger because I can only take on so many people, but she sees most of her people like once a month. So
Got it.
like she can see somebody every day, brand new, multiple times. Like, so
That's
she
crazy.
has the potential to really grow a lot, which I'm super excited for her for.
Sure.
And then I'm just kind of on the back end with my OG people and anybody who wants to come along. And I just had a 9-year-old start the other night.
That's
And
pretty cool.
So
Well, and you're going to continue. You're going to be obviously the premier guy there if you're not already. And it's like you should really lock up with Matheny because Matheny's done a great job of, as he's scaled the price, scaled
Yeah.
the time, and he's built a really, really successful
Definitely.
business following similar
Yeah.
path. So I think you guys have a lot in common.
we had a phone call sometime last year because I really want to get into the online space of things.
For sure.
It's just setting everything up, like platform to use, like pricing and everything like
Yep.
that. So we've talked a couple times, but I need to get with him for sure and start figuring that out because I have people all the time like, help me in between, or I'm
Yeah.
not from Zanes, like, so I definitely can add that.
You just
in,
got to have the
but
menu of services all over
yes,
the place.
Yeah.
Where can everybody find you at, Ben?
_ B Kaufman on Instagram. Don't have Twitter. Gonna be getting on TikTok soon. Actually,
Shit, let's
downloaded
ride.
it.
Dude, get
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
Actually, I follow a bunch of cool stuff, the helmet stuff.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's amazing.
all right, so
His
my
kid's
number
TikTok's
my
crazy.
number one thing with TikTok is that you first off you have to use TikTok and understand
Yeah.
what the fuck people want to see.
I
Right.
agree.
And you'll notice that the guys who are really fucking killing on TikTok, they'll find like one
Yeah.
way they do things,
Yeah.
and then they'll just fucking keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah. I'm sure
So once you
I'm trying
find
to
like the
find my
groove, it's
way.
like, all right, this is easy, it's good, people kind of fuck with it. You just keep rolling.
Well, I
Yeah.
got like 20,000 followers being like a hot dad, and I need to like get the next 20,000 people not that way. I'm trying to do fitness because I looked at my
You're a little
analytics.
whore.
I am a little whore,
Yeah.
thirst trapper, Danny.
Thirst.
But the problem is, I looked at my demo. It's 73% women, but I think they're like maybe under 20 years old. So I need to do a better job of who I'm attracting on TikTok.
Jeez.
So Cole's advice is good. I just need
Yeah.
to find a different strategy.
Danny, what's that shit on Silicon Valley, like where all their users are like underage?
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
I love that show, by
They
the
had
way.
no, dude, it's fucking so good, right?
It's
It's a
so
great
good.
show.
Yeah.
It is a great
So
show.
underrated. Shout
It
out.
is underrated.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, it was awesome having you on.
Appreciate
you
it.
didn't know you were going to be on today, which
Yeah.
is epic.
Yeah.
Roundtable Podcast. I'm your boy Corey G. That's Small Arms Danny. This is at Trey Speed and the graphic gangster himself, Cole Susek. Ben Kaufman, appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
We out.
Thank you.